I say, whoa, now there, it's your mans and them, the Toothless Wonder, back with another video. And I'd actually done this video previously, but I discovered like I got a strike on my channel for something, for my opinion related to the Trump situation event. Um, I've heard other people, maybe just because I put in the title. Oh well, whatever. But I didn't, okay, so I couldn't post for a week, but I forgot when that actually started. So I uploaded like 3 videos, but they wouldn't go on. And then I like deleted the video from my personal device. So I'm like, oh well. I guess here's a fine time to do another one. And this one inspired by my main man, Jerome, whom I affectionately call Star Trek Mo. For anybody that knows, that's a term like the DC Negroes refer to each other as, what's up, Mo? You know what I'm saying? Slim, stuff like that, right? And this brother, if you think I'm out there, he got me beat by light years. But a lot of times he be on point. It's just he take it to the extreme. In my humble opinion, like people might say, I take it to the extreme. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't what I really wanted to come up. That ain't what I wanted to talk about. Uh, he sent me a video, and I had seen it, and I really don't be like, I pay attention to world events just as like mile markers as to how far the rabbit hole we are, but I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I guess they had the Olympics, and I've seen other people cover this particular story about how they did this a drag queen mockery during the opening ceremony of the Olympics at Paris. Now, I mean, you can take what I'm saying for light if you want to. You can be so, you know, through incrementalism. I think that was one of the things the Nazis, social scientists used to push society into, or their society, into accepting the extermination of the European Jew. Don't get me started on that topic. And we're in dangerous times. Regardless if, whatever your stance is on that whole LGBTQ, whatever. Why are they pushing this so hard? You ever thought about that? Because it's obvious. It's not because they care and they want these people to have right, da. It's for a more nefarious agenda. There's nothing new under the sun. But the fact that they use drag queens to make a mockery of the Last Supper just goes to show you the state of the world that we're in. And the only people that I've seen actually cover it or make mention, I ain't really listening to none of it, I just seen that on my feed, were people who, are brothers in the quote unquote truth. Nobody in the world said anything, you know what I'm saying? And if, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you a case in point, right? Now, I've been told y'all the story about me working at the Jewish ran rehab and how it had basically became, and here they practice witchcraft, which I've seen other people comment, talk about it, never been around it up close and personal. Was blown away by how many people were like, witchcraft is mainstream now. And this is at a rehab where we're supposed to preach spiritual principles and so on and so forth. The vast majority of the white women that work there, 70 to 80% were active participants in tarot card readings and moon worship. And the tripping part was they were actually very pleasant to talk to and be around. On the flip side of that, 80 to 90% of the sisterhood, the black women, had numerous entanglements, a la Jada Smith, with male clients, not 24 hours after they release, after they're, complete or whatever, their stay at our 60-day facility for substance abuse. It was rampant, had been rampant, was rampant when I was there the first time. Still was continuing to go on, came back. They had me thinking, no, it's not like that, da. It was even worse and probably still going on. And there were actually a few black sisters who would openly and casually discuss, their dealings with the practices of the occult. And I was literally blown away. Like, I'm kind of inquisitive. I'm like, well, how'd you get into that? Or, where you, you meet Big Mom and them, they wasn't messing around like that there. Not to any degree I personally know of. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, damn, Joe, everybody, like, don't nobody care nothing about God no more, yo. Like, now we're in a space where everybody hates God, the creator. He created you and you hate him. But the word does say all these things are going to happen. So, of course, I left twice for the same reason. I can't be around. I put my morals, my principles on the line. And I'm not willing to do that for a paycheck. Now I can see why people go Hollywood and get entangled up and all the stuff they get entangled. Or, in my case, everybody's saying something now because it's trendy. But wasn't a whole lot of people saying nothing now. And then well, I'll tie it all together with this, right? So I was talking to a counselor that still works there. Now I also understand why, after 20 years, 50 Cent still be antagonizing Ja Rule and them. Cause I want to, cause I don't stand for, you know what I'm saying? So I find myself doing the same thing. Like, period, I'll make direct posts about these people, and they hate me because now they know I know the truth, and been known the truth. They just didn't know I knew it at the time they was around me. So now they come to discover that the image we were portraying, he been wasn't feeding into it. And then they kind of tried to set me up and do some other stuff, and I, exit stage left on. So now they mad they couldn't set me up or bring me down or whatever they call themselves doing. I'm the only Negro I know who's ran off on the employer twice. They steady calling, I ain't calling back. Anyway, so me and this counselor who still works there have. So I'm like, we talk about whatever we talk about. Then I got to give it to him. And then I start looking at people who are still there as your silence is complicity. We all know this, and I've shown everybody truth that talked to me behind the scenes. Of people telling me they did it to them. Or say they were bringing me in stuff and whoop, whoop, whoop. It was almost like working in DOC, yo. Which is another sidebar conversation about when you leave these women unchecked, they liable to do anything. Just like we see in society. Anyway, so we're having this conversation. So I go back getting on the peoples again, right? On the sex deviants, as I call them, to their face when I say them. So she was like, oh, and then she would kind of turn to like, well, you don't really know. And I showed you. So now I'm looking, we talking on through, text message or whatever. And now I'm looking at her funny. Then she kind of was like insinuating like, you need to let it go. It's not as bad as you think it is. It's worse than I think it is. But now, okay, you're defending your employer. You know it ain't going, you know what I'm saying? I get it. But then, like, not 24 hours later, this same counselor who's attempting to tell me, just like somebody hop in and tell me what to do, ain't nobody in a position to tell me what to do. Not now. That's how you get bamboozled. That's why I'm the leading authority and started the Bamboozled Again News Network. First of all, I done bamboozled my damn self. Anywho, I digress. So, not within 24 hours of us having this conversation, in which she's kind of like trying to dry, like, say, leave it alone, or it wasn't like it was, or woo, woo, woo. She takes her pre-teenage, and this was in July, she takes her pre-teenage children, boy and a girl, to a pride event with drag queens, posting pictures with the kids, posting pictures with the drag queen, and in one of the pictures she says, this was like on my child's bucket list or their crowning achievement in life. I wrote her off instantly. And she don't know this, but another colleague of hers told me that she was sleeping with another staff member who had a girlfriend there that I was kind of loosely tied to when they broke up. So I lost all respect for him. And you knew this. So don't come tell me nothing about nothing. I'm like that old black man in your family now, who know everything about everything, and you can't tell him nothing. And you avoid him at all costs until something go wrong, and then you know you gonna have to hear about it. But because of love, he'll probably still solve. But you gonna get this work though. These are the signs of the times. And this is a woman with education, and I got a whole. And I'm seeing something else too, right? I'm seeing a lot of content creators that I F with real hard, who have helped me along my journey. They're dropping a whole lot of content because there's nothing but material out here. Might well give it to them. On BD, you might well give it to them. But this again goes to show how education doesn't equal knowledge or wisdom. And I can only imagine that the father, I bet he's proud. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the tripping part, right? Sign of the time. If I, as a straight, free-thinking black man, say, go to whatever agency and say, yo, I want to speak to the kids, I would have more checks and balances and background checks and so on, and I guess rightfully so, levied on me than if I dressed as a woman, identified as a drag queen, and said I want to speak. They'd be like, oh, come on in. Grown men dressed as women isn't labeled a mental health disorder. But why are they so hell-bent on fucking with the kids, though? I'm telling you, we live in Rome. Why they don't want to go to the nursing home and talk to the elderly people? They don't want to do that. They want to be around your cheerings. Man, it's diabolical about that. I told y'all it's real in the battlefield. And if you say something about it, they'll come for you. Good is bad, bad is good now. We see it all day, every day, B. Word up, man. This shit is, it's fantastic out here. And now I'm to a greater degree, I'm understanding how spiritual this game is. These people gone, bro. So what I look like with the woman I'm talking about, what I look like having some type of intellectual conversation with her, understanding she's burnt up. She's of this world. You're going to go along with whatever they say go along with. Now, initially, you might, you know what I mean, buck a little bit. But when it comes to a matter of your job or being socially accepted, okay, well, I accept this now. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that, yo. Shit for the motherfucking birth. And why would I be hell-bent on social acceptance and upward mobility in society when we all see society falling apart? That's like I'm gonna get a penthouse apartment in New York City during a riot. You know, like yeah, it's but damn, or I'm gonna buy a home, you know, a multi-million-dollar home that has prior flood damage. It's not a sound idea. It's not sound wisdom for the long haul. And I felt the need, and I don't know where this came from. I just started understanding I got to play the long game. Even though time seemingly is getting short, I still got to play the long game. Me playing the long game has set me up to be able to move the way I move now. Because these same people, you know, be on antidepressants and, you know what I'm saying? They be just splacking at, you know, whoever's around. You know what I'm saying? Because they job fucking with them or they don't have enough whatever. And I try to believe I wasn't always like this. Not at all. But I think he built me up to a point, speaking of the Most High, built me up to a point to then reinsert me in society, even though like I wasn't locked up or nothing, so that I could properly navigate it. Prior to that, I was wondering, you know, why is this black? Why? Because I guess I was more open to, you know, society and, you know, that type of thing in the sense of where can I go in. Now I'm trying to run around like a squirrel, gather what I can gather out of society or the world to use it to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? But these are yet just more signs of the times. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I say, like, you know, these seemingly, you know, very whatever type of events are happening every 48 hours. Trump shooting, internet outage, you know, this, whatever, right? But, you know, as I move and groove through society, I don't see any. Now, granted, I'm not the monster of being hasty or anxious, fearful word, but I don't hear like people having these type of conversations. Like the other night, I delivered an order to the Hyatt, pretty decent establishment. You know what I'm saying? I guess they were having a wedding night, right? And then the first thing I thought about was how it said in the day or the end of days, or you know, the days in the coming of Yeshua, Jesus, will be like in the days of Noah. Meant like people will be eating, drinking, giving the marriage, you know what I'm saying, just going on how they go on. And that's the first thing popped my head when I was at the wedding thing, dropping the stuff off. I'm like, these people act like they ain't got no care in the world. They thinking fake fiat paper money gonna save them, or society. We're gonna come into a time where the millionaire is gonna ask the homeless man what to do, cause he has more wisdom about survival than he do. Just like in that movie, Leave the World Behind, The dude, I guess he was in like corporate America or something like that, or one of them, what they call them, like one of them digital nomads or whatever. But when all that like they were starving, they were trying, just secure themselves, and they needed like some help from this one dude who had been prepping. And he said, "Man, get on away from here." He said, "Man, I'm a useless man. I don't know what to do." That's why I'm so hell bent on getting tangible skills. Like I went and got a solar cert. I mean, if I got a solar job, cool. If I see it could build my overall campaign, but I didn't get this skill to go work for somebody else. I got this skill to use for me. Like everything I do for me. And then if I do it for me, then I'm of value wherever my feet at. I have something to offer, a knowledge to give. You know what I'm saying? Like increase. Yeah, I guess you can still get your money up, so on and so forth. But increasing my value that way. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere I'm at, you're blessed to be in my presence. Not again out of ego, but because out of the stuff I know, what I've been through, the experience I've learned from. You know what I'm saying? Here's another thing, and I used to do this. How do people keep going through the same experience but never learn nothing from it? But then they'll blame it on something else. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, let's say the dating, oh, guys or females ain't this. Okay, I'll use me, right? I keep hopping on here talking about, oh, females ain't this, females ain't that. If I truly believe in it, or believe that, why am I fooling with these females? Or what type of females am I fooling with to keep giving me this outcome? Nobody does that. Especially not the people I'm referring to who have been engulfed in the matrix. Everything else that happened to them, somebody else's fault. That's weak as hell. And it was weak as hell when I did it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, these are just not just that, but the inflation, the immigration, I've covered that. You know what I'm saying? And by the time, just like the frog in the boiling water thing, but by the time it get too hot, you can't realize it's up on you. And you ain't did nothing about it because you didn't perceive what was going on around you. You wasn't able to quote unquote read the room, read the writing on the wall. You see what I'm saying? But then for those that can do so, like they'll attempt to shame you. Like, here's what's crazy, right? And I, study the YouTube space. So like, let's say a man has, or like such as myself, has standard, saying what he will and won't put up with, you know what I'm saying, da da da. They'll call you sassy or put like almost a homophobic type of label on you, because as a man, you won't accept any old treatment and behavior out of a woman. But meanwhile, a woman who, as far as let's say her quote unquote Mocha's place value, has multiple kids by multiple men, just bad behaviorally, a bad track record in life. These women will then say, in order to get with me, you need to have all this money, you need to be this tall, your meat need to be this long. You see what I'm saying? Again, how inverted and flip-floppy everything is. And they actually believe they deserve that. And if you want, I was having a conversation with another coach. I'm like, okay, but you ever thought about like what type of guy would want me? If that's what you want, like why would he choose me? You see what I'm saying? Yo, she was dumbfounded. You don't even want you. Let's be honest. That's why you jump person to person, because you can't be by yourself and work on yourself and whatever. Or position yourself for that type of man you say you, but you don't even want that type of man. Because that man, one, he ain't going to pick you. Two, let's say he did pick you, you'll claim he wasn't happy, he was abused, da-da-da. Because then he's going to demand something out of you. Max benefit, minimal effort. I don't know what, like I just seen a video of a German woman. I think she was talking to black women, but I think she was talking about American women as a whole, and just saying like her take on like their dysfunction and da 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 da. So much so they made the woman famous, because then the sisterhood rebutted back to her. But the sisters that rebutted back to her are wearing blonde weave. Like this woman's like Turkish or Eastern European or something. You know what I'm saying? And then they're saying, oh, y'all ain't got none. This woman is highly educated. This woman got a black man. Here's another one, right? Trying at the time. Unless you do all this to save a woman for her own bad decisions in life, right? As far as having a whole bunch of money and finance and stuff like that. And that's not going to guarantee her loyalty anyway when she ain't been loyal, right? Or let's say main man, he go to school, he a computer programmer, he make 100 grand a year, whatever. These sisters not checking for him for whatever reason, right? So he say, okay, and let's say he go to Colombia, Thailand, and get a foreign woman, feminine, long hair, whatever, right? Same stuff. Niggas been saying they don't like our black women, right? They'll then come back. You don't want me, but then you'll shame me when you see me with somebody else. This is no different than them fake woke conscious people attempting to shame you back on the plantation. Because when you escape and get better and do better, they hate on you. Yet another sign of the time. You say you don't want me, cool, fine, and dandy. I went somewhere where they do and see the value in me and so on and so forth. And now you got a problem with it. Then, from what I was saying, like when Stella got her groove back, they've been doing this. Like going to Jamaica and getting their back blown out and all that type of shit. But outside the islands, the average, I'll say black women or American, nobody's looking to wife these women unless they looking for a visa. Because again, like I said earlier, these women they don't desire wives. They use families for their own benefit. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Hispanics are running, even though they're kind of giving them a leg up, but they're taking a leg up and they taking off with it. Because you don't see it. Okay, I'll give it to you like this: you don't see an Hispanic, Arab, or Muslim men or Hispanic men, right? You don't see them in the manosphere, talking about their women, because they're women in pocket. Granted, they come from a patriarchal culture. Their family's intact. That's why these immigrant groups can come over here with nothing and establish everything. Because the family unit's intact and everybody playing their role. See, in the black community, everybody want to be Jordan, even though you ain't got no jumper. And then let's say you is Jordan, then somebody on your squad be like, man, you shooting too much. Sign of the time, man. Let me get up out here, baby.